What up? I just realized I was muted. Anyways, I was saying welcome. I see you, Heliax 3 stream streak. Thank you. We were live earlier, but connection was not having it, to say the least. I was having insane spikes on my on the streaming software and on PoE, so I just had to end it. But now, oh god, all right, it's still fine. Yeah, once I start seeing those spikes on PoE, it's kind of just annoying. But the stream is fine. Let's hope it's nothing serious, because I really want to try this. So a bit of updates on progress so far. At least once we ended our stream, we kind of switched back to June because the price of veiled orbs have gone up. So I figured, why not? And I just started farming some June again. What up, Silver Blade? Is that Blade? I think. How are you doing? Welcome. Today we're going to be testing out some flame specters, or at least that's the plan. It's basically going to be the exact same tree we currently have, but we're going to need to potentially get up to 3 white sockets on our chest piece. So we need to get some more orbs, some more omens of blanching. And then we're going to need to buy, like, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 9 ghastly eye jewels, something like that, all to get flat fire damage and potentially minion damage. I spent like 2, 4, 6, like 6 to 8 divines fixing my suffixes finally. And as we can see, I finally have my suffixes done. So I no longer need any source of like early res or attributes from my ghastly eye jewels. And because of that, I can now just focus on pure flat damage. One thing is, I think I'm going to leave this one in. This is the one ghastly eye jewel that I might leave in, even though it's lightning damage. And the reason being is it has corrupted blood cannot be inflicted. I will look for something, and if I can find something to replace it, then I will go for it. But other than that, well, you know, it has 10% fire and lightning res. My lightning res is on the lower side though. So like lightning res is the one thing that I might have to get on one piece of gear somewhere. I don't know where. I could replace chance to block spell damage to be fair, but we're going to be swapping ascendancies to this. So I kind of don't want to reduce my chance to block any more than I have to. Like if I don't have to, I don't want to, because that would just lead to losing even more block than I want to. Because currently our bone offering gives 37% chance to block AD and spell, and that means it's providing to us, because we have like what, 40% effect on ourselves, 50%, so that equates to about 18%, as PoE always rounds down. 18% chance to block. That's what we're gonna lose, so let's not lose even more than that. Another thing would be bone offering effect has to go. Actually no, it doesn't really have to go per se, because now I'll probably go flesh offering if we're switching to, just because my minions all the minions I plan to get are also on the tanky side, like, because the flame minions in particular that we're thinking of going are actually have their POEDBs here, so let's just pull them up real quick. They're the Caldera Ravagers paired with the Templar War Maidens. And the reason we're thinking of going for these two, well, they're tanky as shit, but the reason we're planning to go for them is they both use fire, and it's mostly because of the Ravager, because the Ravager is this its cremation is going to be insane single target damage. And because of that, like for bossing and whatnot, because of that, I want to use them to clear, but I can't just straight up use them to clear because their cremation, while it has 100% uptime if you're in the same spot, it has an 8-second cooldown and it lasts 10 seconds. So in a wave clear scenario, like clearing the map, it's shit. Because you're going to use it, the cremation is going to be up, it's going to be destroying the molten orbs and everything. And then they're going to start slapping enemies. And we're not scaling slap. So, you know. So we're going to have to do something about this. Another thing I would like ideally, is I would like to get the extra level, which we are very close to. But because we are keeping our character largely the same, and we're only going to be swapping out gems, or jewels rather, because of that, I think we should still be tanky enough to where we do not die and we still level up all the same. Ravager with returning projectile is quite interesting. Yes, it is. I haven't figured out how to exploit it yet. I think it's exploitable, but I will keep looking. Because the thing about it is, when you slap on return projectiles, that projectile is only going to do 30-something% damage. And what that equates to is when they're all traveling along that line and they're going to hit whatever they're going to hit, right? It ends up being very low damage despite its hitting, to where it's probably not going to kill anything. And they lose that overlap effect because, well, simply, they lose the overlap effect because it's kind of random. Like I can actually show this real quick. If I want to switch my specters yet? I'm sure. Let's get all the gems out. Let's get all the jewels out of my gear. These are all the jewels we have to replace. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time today on trade. And this is optional. This is completely optional. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but I would want to replace it if I can. We are low on lightning res. This is the one res we are not capped on without everything we just removed. So that much we have to do something about. But we just need one jewel to have like all early res. That's it. So let's... But anyways, I wanted to show something. I wanted to show the Ravagers, right? So let's actually do this. Let's take this off. Let's move this here. Let's take this off and let's remove Spell Echo. These are the 3 gems you have to remove to use Raise Specter. It's kind of what I have to remove 3 whole gems, but it is what it is. Caldera Ravager, there we go. I don't have Return Proj. Gems, Return Proj. This is the only behavior I kind of want to show, so I'm not going to bother taking faster Proj. I should probably take GMP. These 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them to actually hit. Then I'm going to show I'm going to try to explain what I am based off of the hits. But what I want you guys to keep track of is watch the circles that pop on the floor when the orbs hit the ground. That's what I want you guys to look at. Let's switch to this. Like, you see all these circles? That's what I want you to look at. So like, look at it. They are hitting. Like, look at it there. You can see all these circles that are popping. But because this is doing only like 34% damage, how many percent? It's doing 37. Yeah, 37% damage. And because the whole power of cremation as a whole is there's a lot of overlapping. There's the projectiles hit, the overlap. There are like 3 geysers among 9, let's say 5 Ravagers. That's 15 geysers total, all overlapping. That is where the insane single target damage comes from. Once they start moving like that, like in that straight line, there will be some overlap. But because they already didn't have like the greatest damage, and then you reduce that even further on top of GMP's reduction, it just does too little damage. So I don't think I'm going to be using returning projectiles. I haven't figured out how to, because I've tried slower projectiles, and the idea of trying slower projectiles involves having it pop even sooner, so it doesn't go quite as far. Like the projectiles return, you don't go quite as far, and then they end up exploding to try to create more overlap, but that didn't work. And same thing with faster projectiles, that also didn't work. So we're still gonna try some things, but I will say we're probably going to end up running GMP faster projectiles as our two green links, because we plan to pair it with War Maidens, and War Maidens for clear at least. So there'll be 5-ish War Maidens and 4 Ravagers, or we can switch it any way we want. So we're going to probably do like, I like clear speed, so I'm probably going to go 5 War Maidens and 4 Calderas, because 4 Calderas should still be really good DPS. Is it just me, or does its head look weird here? It looks like a crab. Is this a crab? Okay, no, it's like horns, I think. I always thought it looked like a monkey, but what? I'm just now seeing this. It looks so weird. Thing looks awesome. Yeah, I wasn't expecting this. Like, that actually caught me by surprise. I didn't expect the face. Anyways, so let's start trying to replace our jewels, shall we? We're going to do a few things. I kind of wanted to try getting a 3rd white socket so I could play around with having even more green gems in my gear, in case I wanted to run like return projectile as well as faster proj / slower proj and GMP. But we'll see. We are undecided yet. We might still play around with the blanchings. So I want ghastly eye jewels. And because of all the things we have done, we don't need to worry about anything besides energy shield. We need energy shield as high as possible, but I prefer at least. I'll just put 30 just to see if I can keep the cost a bit down. And then we want flat fire. Fire, minions, there we go. And then we're going to do some real quick. We're going to search, see what the high end looks like. This is going to be like 40. So let's go 40. Okay. So is 40 high enough? The absolute high end looks like 35, 51. So I guess 40 is enough. So let's just do this. Let's look through. If we can find like other good... Oh, wait. We're actually not done. We also need to swap this out. These two. So let's just confirm again. We have enough dex and strength. We're only missing 6 lightning rares because our max lightning rares is 76. We're only missing 6 lightning rares. All right. We'll just find one piece with like all rares and that's it. Call it a day. Let's find something that they would actually... One advantage of having Ravagers is they will attack, and so we can use stuff like taunt on hits. But because we're not scaling accuracy, that will probably end up doing jack shit, to be honest. Oh, wait. This might be nice. I can actually get chance to ignite and get to like, let's say 40% off of my belt. Only get 2 pieces that have chance to ignite. But the reason we would want this is then it opens up this. Where is it? Immolate support. Where the hell is immolate support? That one. This is just going to give us flat added damage. And added damage is big, like flat, because if we look at the POEDB again, we see no effectiveness to either of these specters, by the way, for added damage. So we can assume they inherit it at 100%, And immolate at 100% or at level 20 would give, I think, hundreds, like maybe I think over 100 added flat fire. So it's just that extra bit of flat fire. And keep in mind, this is on top of cremation doing its thing. So it could be strong so long as we get those ignites off. Now, if we don't get the 40% ignite off, then it's essentially actually 60%, because if we get 15, that's effectively 28%. So it's higher than 50% at least, so long as we put them in the darkness enthroned. Okay, what up, Doc Rock? Been testing these myself. Mine is more of a zoo setup. You get raise and pillage on large clusters. I could, but I'm kind of short on like points. So like this is the only large cluster we are running, and we have feasting fiends on it, which is basically the only thing I want. If I were to go that, and the reason we actually want feasting fiends, it's primarily because of the leech, because right now I don't have any other source of minion leech. So this minion leech is carrying my minion sustain on its back, like literally just. So if I could, I guess I could put one here. Potentially, I could look at making a combo of jewels like that and get raise and pillage, which raise and pillage gives, what was it, 40%, right? Was it 40% or 12? I forget. I think it's 20% actually. Right, okay. So 40%. If it's 40%, then they get 100% chance to ignite, and immolate just becomes big. 30. Okay, 30. So that's 90%. That is still really, really comfortable. So let's actually look for this. Chance to ignite minions. 15. Is there going to be any jewel like this? No. We're going to have to reduce something. Now, what can I reduce on? Chance to ignite is probably the most flexible here. There's a jewel that has, these are my two options. Do I want to spend 3 divines on a jewel? That is, ooh! Wait, I'm just now seeing this. This is a big jewel. This is a big jewel, actually. Okay, okay. I'll do it. 3 divines. If you reply, that is. Okay, cool. Then I'll hold shift. Okay, so that's one. And then we'll take the second one, that's a 12% chance to ignite. So we'll end up looking at making sure it's the same thing. Thank you very much. Okay, so this gives us our first jewel back, and it goes in here. Beautiful. Then the second one should also be chance to ignite. The only one that has decent chance to ignite with the stats I set is this one, and it's 12%. I have a 93% effect darkness enthroned, which means, let's say I get 14 and 12. 14 would end up being, let's just like approximate here, 14 ends up being 26, let's say. It could be 27, but let's say 26. And then 12 becomes 22, maybe 21. Let's use 21. Let's be pessimistic. 21 and 26. That's 27, 47% chance to ignite. Right? 47. If I slap on raise and pillage, and that has 30%. Oh, never mind. It's 20. Okay. That's a steal. Yeah, that was a good jewel. So if we then slap on raise and pillage, which has 20, right? That puts us at like 60% chance to ignite. With how often and how fast they should be hitting, and there being 9 specters all hitting, they should always be ignited. They should always be burning, and as such, they would then get the immolate added damage. So my gem links are going to look like GMP. It could be faster proj, or it could be immolate, we'll see. But minion damage, spell echo, those two are non-negotiables, and then there's one more. What is that one more going to be? Yeah, we could just, like I said, Immolate could go here and then those 2 green gems do their thing. That's fine. My guy, you're not gonna let me see. Selling? Need this. Because this is the only other one that fulfills the criteria. So if I don't get it, oh, thank you. If I don't get it and I have to like lower my criteria, I'll give him a tip of like 5. Thank you. All right. So now we are anywhere in like 40 something percent. We have 2 options here. We can to be fair, if you plan on going flammability is more than enough to proc and ignite with the amount of it. This is true, but I also don't plan on like using ignites or flammability on the pack to pack basis. So I want it to be where they have a decent enough chance to do it as they just like through the magma orbs. I want them to have that added damage to increase their clear speed. I haven't checked into your building in a while. Haven't even been playing PoE. I mean, a break is always good here and there. I take my breaks. But right now I am very I like the specters that we have access to, and I kind of just want to test as many as I can. It's kind of where I'm at right now. So we're done with our darkness enthroned setup. Now just everything else. So we don't care about chance to ignite. We're going to look for, we're going to remove this. I'm going to look for the absolute best in the way of like damage. I don't want poison. Let me see. How about I do this? How about I just put weighted sum and then I just slap on stats that I could want, which include like chance to minion ignites, minions deal recently, lightning res, LE res, something like this. What is the hungry loop for? It is for your Specter of transience. It is how we get support specters in this build. We for the Specter of transience, so long as you do not go over the difference between the max amount of specters written here and the max amount of specters written here, you're good. Like for me, this says 5, this says 9. So I can have 4 support transient specters without overwriting my permanent specters. It's funny how that one little bit of discovery that I made has changed the way people are using Wraith Lord. I like stuff like that, to be honest. Let's give them weights. Let's say this is 1, this is 3, this is 1, and this is 1. They're all weighted the same. Let's give this 1.5 maybe. 0.5, something like this. And let's just go let's go by sums. This has lightning res. This is actually a pretty good one. This solves my need for lightning res, and because it solves the need for lightning res, I can remove it entirely. Yeah, let's do this one. But on the other hand, this one is also pretty good. There's only 1 to flat damage, but then I get more ES. Yeah, I think I'll go for this one actually. So we have 2 down. Let's say it's those 2. I still need to look for a corrupted blood cannot be inflicted on you, Jewel. I guess that person is not replying. We'll go for the next person. This is 10C. Thank you. I think it's worth pursuing Ignite if you are using the multi-link helmets. Since you get both burning damage and immolate on the helmet, more of a traditional approach. Multi-link helmets? What do you mean? This is I'm using a Raid Lord, so I can't swap my helmet slots. It's kind of set in stone. So we have our lightning res, right? We have our lightning res. We no longer need to worry about anything. We still have to replace all of these. Now we're going to remove these 2 from the weighted sum because we no longer need them by any means. You know what I mean? If say you are going 5 specters with other minions as support. Oh. So what you'd go so you'd go for like multi-link helmets in the way of like getting a, let's say 7-link, 8-link helmets with burning damage and immolate, which I think roll on the helmets. No, that makes sense. Fiery attendants? I could check. Where is that window? Give me a second. I'm back. Let's see. Necropolis Ember. Fiery Attendant. So they shoot... What is this? Deals this to this projectiles. Fires 2 additional projectiles. Or fires plus 2 projectiles and an additional projectile. So that's 4 projectiles if I'm understanding it correctly. It has a nice base crit. Like at least not the best, but like decent. This is Blazing Salvo. What does Blazing Salvo look like? Since you need Ignite for the immolate and burning damage to proc. Yeah. Burning damage isn't bad. I wouldn't go with it with this setup, but if I wasn't going Raid Lord, probably. PoE burning salvo. Is that a skill? Oh, this is PoE gameplay. I'm not gonna see what Blazing Salvo looks like. Okay, Fiery Attendants. This is a new Specter here that came with the League mechanic. So if Dominated hasn't posted it, then we're not gonna see it. Huh. Okay, let's go PoE wiki. Maybe I'll find it there. Blazing Salvo. Let's see what the wiki has to say. Fires projectiles which fly in an arc, dealing area damage on impact with either enemies or the ground near where you target. Targeting further away causes the projectiles to spread out and land over a wider area. I kind of have a mental image of what it could be. You couldn't find any videos on them. Yeah, it's unfortunate that the new Spectres are like that, but we just have to play with what we have. Okay, let me actually just give thoughts on the Spectres numbers as I'm seeing them. So it has a cast time of 1.3 seconds. And the base projectiles are 1350, like 900 to 1350 base damage. That is honestly decent. Level 78, right? Yes, 78. This is decent. Like, compare that to the magma orbs. Magma orbs are slightly higher, but they don't have the option of hitting the enemy. Now, granted, the magma orbs have AoE, which we are scaling, so I don't think these... Oh no, these ones have area too. They deal area damage on impacts. Can they shotgun? AoE can blazing salvo shotgun. This is a question. Blazing salvo mechanics. Projectiles are very yada. Is a spell which can indeed shotgun. When it is cast, it shoots X amount of projectiles. One of them will hit the enemy and explode. The explosion will automatically hit the targeted enemy for 1 attritional damage. This is the one projectile in POB. The other projectiles will all hit the ground and explode depending on your AoE positioning and the hitbox of the enemy number between 0 and X minus 1. Explosions might hit and the enemy. The all projectiles are showing the damage of every explosion hitting the enemy, the initial one and every other. Also, the spell is cast to the target, the less the projectile spread. So there is shotgunning. And it has physical damage, so you can benefit from some physical damage conversion. That said, this is base fire. There's no cooldown. I assume you're just going to spam this. Behavior wise, we will have to see. But these are promising. Where do we get these? Gemin berserker. So we have to get the life is low. Let me see, what's the life? I'm not too worried about the life. Like I am actually. It depends on the content you're pushing. And this is very unideal. It's worth playing around with, because think about it this way. If you play, you would have to play on the safer side, like not complicate them right into the enemy. But they already have that meaty front line in the form of, yeah, all flavor of the Gemin berserker. They would need to have, what's it called? They have that front line in the Ravagers. If you give them GMP, I think they're decent. I think they have potential. The biggest issue I would see with them is that they are going to suck either in clear or in single targets. I just don't know which. Because on paper, it sounds like their clear would not be the best, because this is not going to spread too much. But GMP might be able to alter this and actually make their clear decent. But if GMP does that, then we're not dealing with overlaps anymore, because you're going to be spread. And if we're not doing overlaps anymore, then your single target will be shit. But this is already more overlap than we're getting from... What's the word? This is more overlap than we are getting from the War Maidens. But the War Maidens are a lot more tanky. Might be worth a try. I at least want to see what they look like, at least. So I could actually look at this. These are all flame of the Gemin berserkers. We can spam them. We can bulk trade them now, right? So we're going to try to bulk trade as many as we can. All flame embers, berserk, Gemin, berserker. Berserking Gemlins, that's the one. Who has, let's find someone who has like 4 of them. Do they selling each one for 7? Eesh. Okay, let's see this one. Dude has 5. Might be able to make it work. Can we replace multiple packs of monsters with the same All-Flame? Because if we can, that'd be dope. Where we're just spamming berserking gemlins. So every pack of mobs will be berserking gemlins, and we just increase the chance we find the specter we want. Like that. Which, by the way, let's hover on this. 3 to 6 monsters, 3 to 6 monsters. Come on, man. Okay, fine. Mr. 35, let's go. 7 per. It's expensive, at least compared to the price of the base one, but even you're not replying? Jeez. Okay. I'm going to potentially spam. Give me your berserking gemlins. Finally. Who's this? Zone K20. Oh, I just bought 4 then. Oh. Trade. Thank you. That's why I searched for them in the first place and no one had them in 6666. You died to them? I definitely think I know what these guys are. Ooh, okay, okay. If you die to them, then they show potential at least. At least. All right. So before we even start looking for them, we have our gemlins here. We're going to spam them in the map and hope we, actually find them. But before we do, we still have a bunch of at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jewels to go. So we have a lot more spending to do. So let's do that real quick. We don't need ignite. Well, we still like these 3. So if we find any weighted some, let's go. Oh, so there's nothing we weighted some. All right. All right, then. We sort by this. And this is fine, I guess. So we need to buy some. Once we get our 5-ish jewels, or 6 if I replace the corrupted blood, then the next step would be getting raise and pillage as well as feasting things on the same cluster. So I'll have to look at POB to see just how. Come on, is there anybody that has something decent? 35 to max ES is kind of like the baseline I'm hoping to see. I also need, this is 15. I also need chance to avoid bleeding if possible. Because right now we got rid of our chance to avoid bleeding in there. That is one thing I'm gonna miss. I didn't even check the jewel to see if it was the same one. Okay, how about this? We're going to, I guess, duplicate this. Let's hope the search string carries over. Yes, it does. We are going to put chance to avoid bleeding. I'm going to give this a weight of 2. And then we're going to slap on max energy shield. Max energy shield, and we're also going to slap on minions fire damage. And how am I going to weight these? These are basically the most important. So I will reduce this to 2.5, increase these to 3.5 and 3.5, or just straight up give them 4. Then we can turn this off. Eesh. So like something like this would be ideal if I can find this with ignite chance. Is there ignite chance here? Yes, there is. Okay, how about I put both of them on 2? I want avoid bleeding and ignite chance. Can I even get that? What if I do this? Let's turn this off for now and let's just do chance avoid bleeding. And let's also do ignites minion. And then let's take this off and see if there's anything. This is decent. This is decent, actually. Hey, Eleanor, welcome, welcome. How you doing today? I think actually this would be ideal because we actually do want to avoid bleeding as much as we can. Bleeding is that ailment that kills you without you realizing it killed you. You just end up taking massive amounts of dots and your leech wood doesn't keep up. You're kind of just screwed. Thank you. All right. So this means this goes in here. What is it replacing? I think it replaces this one, right? 100%, and then this goes here. So now we have 12% here. This is 14, this is 14. Let's say they both give 26. That's 52% plus 12%. That is 64%. We're getting to the point we might not even need raise and pillage, but we're still gonna get it. We've replaced one more. So we have these 3 to replace. Am I doing the math correctly? I feel like I forgot to move when I replace something. There's 1 here, 2 here. 1, 2. Yeah, I think I forgot to move 1. So there's only 3 I need to replace, which is 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then if I so choose, then I will replace this one. All right, back to the search. We can remove these 2 because they are no longer a priority. We can go back to our weighted sum and then go for, well, this should be go back to being, what did I put for this again? 40? Was it? I think it was 40. All right. So we could just, it's safe to assume that we're not going to find, we aren't finding ignite chance here. So that means we need to find, this looks appealing, especially just because there's extra flat damage. Even though we don't scale it, it's still extra damage. Oh, this is 3 divines. No, I'm not buying that for 3 divines. That is not happening. This is 35. This is, I'm gonna go for this one. I'm also kind of prioritizing my ES to a degree because I hate dying. I hate dying a lot. I actually do not want to get, oh, minions have plus to chaos res. It gives good flat damage. It's corrupted, so it has 6 modifiers. It has fire and cold, and it has 37 ES. You had me at 37 ES, my guy. You had me at 37. I am good. I am good. Just trying to re-gear this character for Flame Specters. How are you doing today? Or I think I already asked that. So if I asked that, never mind. If I didn't, how are you doing? 40. Yeah. So we need to also remember the name of the other one, which is Fiery Attendant. It's important. We need to remember to look for Fiery Attendants so we can just see what they look like. So that's one more. That concludes the helmet, and now we just need 2 more. This dude is set. Oh, this is 40 ES though. This is 100 C. I don't know if I'd put it at 100 C worth. This one has minions regen. Minion regen is decent, actually. If I had to spend 100 C, I spend it on that one. Just because we do not have leech as is, and we currently plan to have very healthy minions. So just the leech combined with the regen hopefully keeps them alive through anything we are going to run into. Really? No reply for 100 chaos? Jeez. All right, let's research for this. Let's sort according to the fire damage. We're gonna go for one of the first ones, which is 10 chaoses. It has chance to poison, which we do not need, but it has the best flat fire among all these things we are currently looking at. 35 to 51. Thank you. And that is one more done. Then for the last one, or the last 2, I guess. Let's actually just look straight up for, I kind of want to look for, oh, Hinder is a very nice defensive layer. Push comes to shove. So if you're going to sell me the Hinder piece, I'll take it. Come on. No? Bruh. Alright. There is a universe. We spend 100 C. Which I don't want to. But on the one that doesn't give regen. Because this person that has regen is clearly not giving me. In which case, yeah. I kind of have to go for the second one. So I'm kind of out of really good flat regen ones to try. This is Voxism, which is, who is Voxism? Looks at the totem. It's that one. This is 100, right? Yeah. Thank you. All right, now time for the moment of truth. Who's this? Oh, Mr. the 20C. How about you guys in one? Now for the moment of truth, so to say, we have to replace the corrupted blood one. So for this, we're going to add corrupted implicits. Cannot be inflicted on you. We're going to remove the minimum of this. We're going to look. This is decent. Boom, boom. Oh. Now let's sort according to damage. This is our best bet, I think. Chance to hinder, avoid ignites. This is a good one, actually. Chance to avoid ignite, avoid ignite. This one piece is going to give us a lot of resistance to ignite, which is the only ailment that we're kind of still susceptible to. Oh no, two of those jewels. One was regular, one was mirrored. Vote for 50C, same person. So if the person doesn't reply here, I kind of have to go for the other one, which is blind on attacks. Which I kind of don't want to. I kind of don't want to. And then the other one is 2 divines, which I definitely don't want. I actually want the non-mirrored version, just no reason besides I kind of just want it. Okay, no reply. We're going to reduce the ES minimum to 25. And then we're going to sort by damage. There are some extra ones here that we could consider. All of them are for a divine, which is unfortunate, but beggars can't be choosers, eh? These are the 2 that completely ignore me, just to make sure that nobody is trying to. Yeah, no one. Block 80, taunt to attacks, yada yada. If I had to pick, I would go for the one that gives minions life and then ES and whatnot. Alright, fine. We'll go for that one. Is there even a reason? This has 23 to max ES, so that'd be an upgrade to the ES. And then it will have some flat fire, which is always good. Minions having extra life. I guess it's good. Meh. Which oh, I kind of wanted to cheap out. I just slot it in, but I guess we have to now. We kind of just have to. All right. Did I miss anything in chat? Nope. Did I? No, I don't think so. All right. Cannot be inflicted. Let go. That's actually a pretty good jewel, actually. So we should be effectively immune to bleeding at all times. And we're immune to corrupted blood. Ignites we're very resistant to. Never mind. Well, I don't know why I said that. I didn't get any of the jewels that gave me chance to avoid ignites, sadly. I don't wanted them. Well, it is what it is. All right, so everything has officially been replaced. We are good to start summoning, and now we have to replace flammability or conductivity with flammability. Nope, wrong one. There we go. All right, so everything we just took off of this character, we're actually going to dump it here. We're not going to sell it yet. Just in case. We're going to bench conductivity. This goes in here, but... So what we're going to do is we're going to raise 5 War Maidens. Then we're going to raise 4 Calderas. And then we're going to run the map with the Gemlins in it. And the idea is we can then just yoink a... What's the name again? Fiery Attendants. A Fiery Attendants, and just see what the Spectre looks like and go from there. So let's do that. This raise Spectre. So we want to go for maidens first, because if they're going to fit in the build, it's the maidens that they will replace. There we go. That was another one. That's 2. I need 3 more. 3. 2 more. Two more, come on. Now is not the time to hide. One more, and I think I saw one. One now can go for the Caldera. There's one. I think there's a second one. Number 3. I like the Ravagers. They're just very chill. They're not hiding. They're like, they want you to see them. What up, Arcane? Welcome. How you doing today? We are currently trying to play around with the idea of fire specters and how to make them work in a clear scenario. So we have our 9 specters. Now for our gems, we have chance to ignite, so we're 100% going immolate, which was this one, right? Now this is blue, and we're also not going. Oh, I forgot about spell echo. That's the one I was thinking of. Spell echo is important for the maidens. GMP is also important. Faster purge, not so much. Let's go for control destruction for now. Immolate, spell echo, minion damage, control, GMP. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. We leave all of these here. I don't think we need Pierce. We don't need it since they are rolling. Oh, why do we have 2 of them? I don't know why we have 2. This is a June favored map, so I think I can run it and still be good. ES, we kind of lost some ES with this swap, but it is what it is. I'm just going through. We need to replace this. This is no longer necessary, but I don't want to replace it just yet because it has a ton of dexterity. I don't want to even bother trying to like figure out. I don't want to deal with that right now. What would I replace that with if it turned out to be good? What is a good amulet? What is a good amulet? Ashes is out because we don't need quality on anything. Nettles is probably the best bet, but then we need to get even more dexterity on like the jewels we have, which would be its own beast that I don't want to even think about. An option is, what's the name of this thing? All's Uprising. Is there anything we should be worried about? Nah. Max percent increase, max ES, nice. Early res. Grave crafted. So do I need it? Oh, asking if I need it. That does give enough dexterity, but I think I'm fine currently. Honestly, a rare amulet might be the play. Yeah, rare amulet could actually be the play until we get an Unettles. But I don't particularly care too much right now. I just want to see what they... I forgot to use it. Oh god, that's fun. I just remembered I still have it. Oh, thank you. All right, let's focus here. What do I think of the damage so far? Well, Vorich isn't taking damage for some reason. There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also forgot some parts of the respec.
Killing me will bring you no.
Oh, this is it that fled. All right.
But if word of our deal makes it to other ears,
all right. This is also part of the respec. We need AoE. Oh yeah. Oh, that's also another big part of the respec, huh? I need AoE jewels. Not jewels, support gems. So we get even more overlaps. And I also need to switch to flesh offering.
I'm a man of limited talents, as you can see. Only so much you can. Next time you see me, I'll be a new man with a new plan.
Okay, increase AoE. That's gonna replace what? What does that realistically replace here? Immolate is like the weakest link, I think. But increased AoE would actually be big, especially for getting those overlaps. Let's go increase. Where's increase AoE? There we go. Maybe we just remove control destruction here. Kinda don't want to. Like, a part of me really doesn't want to, but without Immolate, there's really no point in all the ignite chance we got. Like, it becomes pointless to have to even have it. All right, let's go. Yeah, it feels much better now that we actually have AoE. Do I notice the war maidens? I feel like not nearly as much as I would like to. I think the war maidens are kind of on the mess side. Also, let me see what this area even has. Oh wait, I'm also kind of trolling. I'm still using Wrath. Why am I using Wrath? Now, where did I put Wrath in this place? I should be using Anger. Please be blue. Please. Oh god. It's red. So I need 2 red, 2 blues. So I could, in theory, do this. I should probably do this in town, but So Molten Shell comes down here. No, Molten Shell goes up here. Yeah, something like this. This is the order. So I need to turn this into a red socket. I think the cheapest way to do this is honestly to do this. To just start afresh. 2 sockets. 2 red. And then just try to get the 3rd red into the 4th blue. This is the cheapest way to do it. You forgot flesh offering. That too. I should switch it soon. Let's switch it before I forget. Flesh. They're all level 1. This has 13%, so we'll go for that one. Okay. Back to hunting a red sockets here. And now we just need double 2 links. All right. Generosity, anger, molten shell, automation. Now, another thing to keep in mind is need a high level 1. Do you have a high level 1 to spare? Because one more thing to keep in mind when we're looking at this damage is we are currently using basically bad support gems. Things that are giving us suboptimal DPS outputs. 17. Anything you got. If you have anything to spare, I'll take it. How much is it going for? I could easily give you the money. Something else we could also do, because I suspect cast speed is not as important with these specters, is first divine altar. Congratulations. You know, I still haven't gotten one, but I also attribute that to me just liking red altars. I love red altars. These have bleeds, shield ground on death, yada yada. Let's see what it looked like against Abyss. Lesser Eldritch. I will also say the leech in terms of hit frequency is not nearly as good as I would have expected, especially when I compare it to what's the name of these people, the wretch defilers, because I would think the cremation hits more, but what's probably happening is each hit is not worth as much as a wretch defiler hits. Another thing that's limiting, something else that's limiting them, and it's limiting them quite a bit, is their cremation. Like, look, they are hitting this one thing, but their cremation is like all over the place. It's not concentrated, which is decent for wave clear, but it's probably not the best for single targets, because so much for leveling up, eh? And also should remember to use feeding frenzy. It's especially important now that we don't have leveled up support gems. And I think these specters actually need aggressive. They may need an aggressive wand. Of course, they need levels even more. But I might have to craft an aggressive wand with +2. Either that, or I give them feeding frenzy. Increase flesh offering, and he walks just past me. Were you in my hideouts? Oh, I see. Can I see you? Oh, there you go. Thank you. Oh, cancelled? Thank you very much. This is a level 17 flesh offering. What up? Lol. Well, thank you. So we have a level 17 flesh offering. Now let's actually get the specters we want. But to do that, we're gonna have to bench this. And to make up for that, we're going to use Feeding Frenzy for one map only. Feeding Frenzy goes in there. You're not here for the money? Well, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I really do. We need to replace the most common packs with like this. This. You're not low, right? Yeah. Oh, y'all. And we're looking for fiery attendants. And I need to keep raised Specter very handy so I can react. I'm going to turn off this Defiance banner then, if we don't have the reservation for it. I see frigid attendant. We need fiery. Oh, there we go. That's the fiery attendant right there. All right. Oh shit. Where is the altar? I can't. Yo, if you want visual clarity, this is not the build for you. Jesus, I can't see shit. It doesn't matter what I pick. This is not the build for visual clarity, I'll tell you that much. Why do I feel slow? Ramako. So now that we have a single one, we're going to bench this. And we're going to give them spell echo back. Oh? I'm gonna say something that's interesting. We lost a Spectre. And I suspect it's the fiery attendants we lost. I have a suspicion that that's the one we lost. Because that's by far the squishiest that we have access to. By far. Zealotry should work with Ravagers. It depends. What skill are we talking about? Because the cremation, as far as I can tell, doesn't have crit chance. But their basic attack and the slam they do to trigger the cremation, I think that does. The reason we're not pushing crit is that simple reason. Where is it? The Ravagers are here. Yeah, this doesn't have any crit chance whatsoever. So it might be a Wretch Defiler case. PoE does cremation crit. I don't think it does. Because there's a reason people going cremation of Exhumin go ignite, and I think it's because it doesn't crit. Yeah, I don't think it has any crit chance. This has crit chance. Where is it? Crit chance, but this does not. So yeah, if we're going to build around that, then we can't really go crit unless we want to go like the gloves the same way we would for the Wretch Defilers. Okay, I want to finish this map, I really do, but I also want to kind of test the fiery attendants. I see them, I see what they're doing, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Their projectile looks weird, but it could be decent. Your one issue this build definitely has, or this the minions, is they have issues focusing on like now. They walk away, and now your DPS just falls. All right, let's test the fiery attendant, shall we? What were the things we had to remove again? Where's spell echo? Spell echo. We're also gonna try without immolator and see how it feels. Offering desecrate comes here. Okay. Fiery attendant. Fiery attendant. There we go. we're going to remove everything. And we're just going to look at how their skill looks like first. Then afterwards, what we're going to do is we're going to add increase AoE. What the hell is the AI? What the hell is the AI doing? I think these ones definitely need aggressive. 100%. The spread kind of looks a bit random too. Kind of looks a bit random. This one, I think so, because like it keeps running backwards. Maybe it's trying to kite. Okay, let's do GMP. Let's see what that looks like. And not to mention this Specter. This Specter already is squishy. Let's not forget that. So like it already has a big disadvantage in us choosing to use it. Oh, you're gonna die, aren't you? Okay. Let's add AoE. And let's add spell echo. Let's make sure spell echo works on it. Okay. It's looking better, I'll be honest. I'd be interested in chain pierce and if return projectiles work. Do I have return projectiles? Yes, I do. We can look at return projectiles, but I'll have to go back to town and see the that is so wonky. It looks so weird because it actually does hit the area and then it comes back. You know what would actually look absolutely insane? Imagine this. GMP volley, GMP greater volley, and then returning projectiles, and 9 of these. Oh my lord, you're not gonna see anything. Honestly, if you're willing to convocate them on the enemy, maybe it's really good. Okay, let's do something. Let's do something real quick. Let's remove unending hunger. They don't need soul eater. I want to see what it looks like. I also think because of the way the projectiles work, I think they actually explode on the way out and in. Like they hit the person, explode, and then come back to explode. And it's especially strong when it comes back to itself. Okay, let's see chain. Let's take chain, and what else do we want to test? Didn't red altar take a big hit with the removal of sextants? Yes, red altars did, but I like the pure currency in the form of like chaos orbs, even just chisels, so I can maintain my maps a bit better. What's this worth? Oh, 35. Ooh, remind me to sell you. I don't list it now because then people would interrupt my testing. So I said chain, right? Chain. Pierce is seemingly not needed. What else could we test? What else is good for the specters we're using? I guess. Oh yeah, let's test greater volley. This is something we should do if I can find it. This is regular volley. There's no greater volley here. Clarissa, please have. Oh god, your store is empty. We're about to see a boatload of projectiles, so prepare yourself. Also, let's take this off, shall we? Oh. And you know the best parts? In terms of volley and greater volley, cremation would benefit from both of these by just having more projectiles. We're definitely going to need. The biggest issues I see with this minion will be survivability. As we saw in the last map, would chain work with those projectiles? I doubt they would, but we could test it out. The biggest problems would be its survivability being like it's going to struggle with survivability. The last map we didn't have it for long, but for the short amount of time we did have it, it died. Whereas every other minion I had was perfectly fine. These ones died. Yeah, chain doesn't work. At least it doesn't do anything I can see. Why did it look like you ate the guy? And I assume Pierce doesn't do anything because it hits the ground. We would have to spend extra points in making sure they don't die. So like getting this might be decent, or even anointing this might actually be the move. My dude, why did you run all that way? By the way, I'm aware you are not a big fan of it, but I'm a big fan of Spectral Leader. Could you make your power combination to this crazy? It could make your power combination to this crazy. So you mean like Ravagers, this one, and Spectral Leader? I mean, these basically have the same survivabilities as Spectral Leader, which is not good either way. Do we have Spell Echo in here? Yes, we do. Okay. So, what do I think? I think their spread is going to be their downfall, especially for single targets. Is there any way we can reduce their spread? Honk effects would reduce the AoE of the explosions, which is the opposite of what you would want with these specters. You would have to convocate them right on top of the enemy for them to do what you want, so to say, in a single target scenario. But the problem with that is if you do that, you're going to experience some DPS downtime because they are going to then proceed to kite all the way backwards. 20% increase action speed is insane passively. Yes, but remember, Spectral Leader is, for all intents and purposes, he's gonna kite, and he's not prioritizing trying to be in range of your minions. So in reality, instead of being beneficial to like all your minions, he's in this setup, for example, he's only going to benefit the Templar War Maidens with our current setup, or in this case, the Fiery Attendants, right? So those are the only people that are going to be benefiting from the Spectral Leader, unless you're like perma convocating him melee. But if you're doing that, then there's a good chance he just dies. Can you imagine if the action speed increase, quote unquote, increases the hit rate of your cremation? But then I think he would have to be buffing the Spectre when it casts cremation and not before or after. Like it, Chieftain Apes. I think splitting your Spectres already puts you at a very kind of awkward situation. So to add a DP, to add a support Spectre on top of that, I don't know. Let me think. So they look way too squishy for me. Yeah, I think they're going to die. You can't really use them for juice content. The fire attendants, right? I think they die very quick. Like in the last map, I didn't have anything particularly dangerous I could think of, but they died. My Ravagers were fine, my Maidens were fine. I res them. They had the exact same links as my other ones because I didn't use Transient. I used the actual Race Spectre, and they died. It's a single one. That's increased free cast speed. Yeah, it's a single one. But remember, you're going to be replacing this single one with like let's say a Caldera Ravager, for example, or a Templar War Maiden. So if it isn't providing the same amount of DPS increase for your other 8 Spectres, it's not worth it. And I don't know that a single Carnage Chieftain would make that difference. Now, granted, we're using Spell Echo, so each minion will get 8%. Or 2 frenzy charges, rather. I'm going to say 8% cast speed / attack speed, but 2 frenzy charges effectively, and that would give them 8% cast speed and 8% more damage. But then we lose an extra War Maiden, which with its project with the way we have it, essentially, how much of a DPS loss would that be? It's hard to calculate considering we have 2 different Spectres for 2 different things, but they all contribute, and none of this is on POB, so we can't even use that. But in terms of single targets, if we're replacing a Templar War Maiden, it's not a big deal. But for Claire, we already felt kind of sluggish, so I feel like it's gonna exacerbate the issue. But I mean, I'm down to try it. I mean, like, why not? So let's try it. Spectral Leader and remove Spell Echo. Oh, my game is having it's having spikes. That's annoying. Do I still have it? I don't know if I still have it. But I guess let's drop this. Why did you say 2 charges? Because he's gonna use Spell Echo. So he's going to cast the Shout twice, so they will have 2 charges. Now, if he casts it before those 2 charges expire, then they will obviously cap out at 3. But you never know with the Carnage Chieftain. They could be out of range. They could be in range when he uses it again. He could use it too late. Anything. So that's why I just said 2 to be on the safer side. Let's find the War Maidens. Or I guess let's pick up the Fiery Attendants. We might as well actually give them a fair shot in the map. They're gonna die. I don't think I can honestly justify using them. I don't think so, but Hey, we don't lose anything by trying it, so I don't think so. Oh, I got a war meeting on accident. We're going to try a few things with this, and then we're going to go full Caldera Ravagers after this. We're going to give them volley. I don't like the less multipliers we're giving them if we use greater volley and GMP. So instead, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to go for, is I'm going to just do volley and see what they feel like with that. I'm only interested in Ravagers at this point. Okay, we have 4 Ravagers and 5 other minions with 1 War Maiden. So let's try GMP volley with obviously minion damage, increase AoE, spell echo. This is, I don't like it because 30% less projectile damage and 31%. So like already we're going to be doing 40, like what is it, 30 so times 0.4, so 40% damage. I don't like it, but hey, we'll see. The coverage should be nice, but the actual clear would be, we'll see. Yeah, the DPS is, oh wait, there's a unique enemy here. Yeah, there is a gemin berserker. All right, I don't know what's making that sound, but I don't want to find out. Let's go. Oh look, see what I mean? They're all dead. Nothing special happened. They're dead. So yeah, nah. The fire attendants, nah. Hard no on them. That's terrible. That is awful. That is absolutely awful. So I'm going to replace them with all the war maidens. It's so bad how squishy they are. Got a kitty on my shoulder. I see. I was wondering where the car was coming from. I didn't even realize you were still here. What did I just raise? Oh god. I raised nonsense. Alright. We start again. Templar War Maiden. Templar War Maiden. Everything should be here. I think I'm going to have to just desecrate. I did want to use a spectral leader. We're going to get any Ravager I see, because that reduces the blurb I'm looking at. Because I don't. There was one here. Where are you, Ravager? There's one in your pool. Yeah, I've picked up the spectral leader. Fiery attendant, say no to that. Templar War Maidens, we have, or Caldera Ravagers. This is 4 Ravagers, so we just go War Maiden from here. We need one more. I think I saw one. Nope, that's the attendants. Wait. Oh, the noise outside is making me want to close my window. I need the War Maiden. There we go. There. All right. We have the War Maiden. We have... Nah. So all of these are the tanky ones. Or replace leader with Carnage shifting with the range for melee may be a real issue, but we'll see how it looks. What is attacking with falling zombies? Oh, these are fire and ignite resistant mobs. Which I guess is... Oh shit! Something killed all my minions! Run! I'm sorry, what? Is this like a reflect map or something? No? I don't know what the hell did that. Oh, I haven't also didn't swap. Whoops. All the gems are still out, right? Yeah, we go again. So Ravager, leader. Anyone else? No. War Maiden. No! Get out. The pain of summoning 9 specters is you have to sit here through all of this and make sure you get everything that's exactly what you're looking for. And if you make one mistake, you have to start over. So I'm at 3 Ravagers. I can do with one more Ravager. War Maiden. I'm getting annoyed. I am getting annoyed. I just moved my hand a bit and that was it. Where's the Spectre I just summoned? Yeah, that's the War Maiden, I think. I need to make sure my hand does not move when I'm about to raise. You know, I'm going to just lift my hand from my mouse the moment I get to where I want. That way I do not accidentally. I can have one more Ravager, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I need one more Templar War Maiden. I raised some bullshit. Okay, we're actually going to go somewhere that doesn't have stuff on the floor. This is annoying. This is actually very annoying. Ravager, leader. Why do I have an escaped revenant in here? Templar, War Maiden, Hands Off the Mouse, Summon. Where's the Ravager I just saw? Seeing as now I need to remove my hand entirely from my mouse just to make sure I do not accidentally move when it matters the most. And then watch me somehow mess it up even further. We can have 2 more Ravagers. No more Ravagers, just the War Maidens. Yo, where are the War Maidens? I think we're good. Oh, don't apologize, Heliax. It's fine. I don't think it was your fault or anything. Oh, that was an accident. I meant to go here. Okay. Now, the question I have for myself, right? Do I go into the same map where they got absolutely annihilated, thinking, you know, I could beat them, or do I just move on to the next map? That is the question. Hey, Grim, welcome. It's been a while. How have you been? And what have you been up to? It's been a long while since I saw. Oh wait, and something else I should be adding back in here. Anything else I'm missing? And no. All right, we're going to roll a new map. Let's remove the scarabs, because I feel like I'm wasting them at this point to test. This map, I still have to beat the boss. Well, life, yada 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 yada. Being good, glad. I'm happy to hear that. What have you been up to? What games have you been playing around with? I think the last time you were here, I was trying. What game was it? The last time you were here, I was trying, I think it was this Amazon game. What's the name of the game? New World. That's what I was trying.
Did you forget our deal so quickly, Exile?
I honestly like volley with the War Maidens, I'll be honest. I think I like volley.
The tapestry we weave is
A true servant of God can never be defeated. Your efforts are
But I think these Ravagers, I think their biggest downfall is not being able to focus an enemy.
strategic knowledge is the key to war.
I think that's their biggest weakness. I have minus an insane amount of fire res, so I better be ready to back that up, because yeesh. Our minions are looking fine. We still have 9 up, which is good. I was gonna say, why the hell is it so dark? Thank you very much. I have new what been playing. Oh, you do? What do you think of the game? Create a split copy. Meh. What do you think of New World? I haven't played that in forever. Like I was giving it a try, and the game just didn't want to agree on my PC. Half the time I tried to log in, it would throw an error, and I just got fed up at some point. I'm just like, nah. F it. Let's see what the single target looks like here when we expect it to have high single targets. If I'm being honest, their damage isn't bad by any means. It's actually fine, especially their survivability. I just think I have been spoiled by rich defilers. I genuinely think so. To where if it's not clearing like them, I just feel some type of way. It almost feels like they're the new yardstick, so to say. Which obviously is not fair, but I think that's just the way it is. Compared to Reg Defilers, like they're very flawed, but even with their flaws, they have potential. Like in a situation where you're focusing like one target, like here, it's really not bad.
You want me to betray that thing? I'll do it.
Oh god, what am I gonna do? They both just are being absolute annoyances. No, I don't want Torago in there. Thank you very much. What do you need the maidens for? You can press release and nothing will happen. Still get rolled. Yeah, you can. What do I need the maidens for? I need them for wave clear. Because if you just have Ravagers, what's gonna happen is you see how some are slapping. That's what's gonna happen. They're gonna create their cremation, and then it's an 8-second cooldown. So what happens then is this pack is done, but then you have to go do some. You still have to go and wait on the next pack to get the whatever. Okay, let's remove Immolate for now, and let's try return projectiles. Return projectiles is very wonky, but it does provide one thing I like, which is additional hits. Chance to block. Oh god, that's annoying as hell. Is there anything that has negative? I don't know how I feel about the most common mob having this chance to block. On the bright side, I want to believe they are squishy, so maybe. But I don't want anything having a 90% chance to block. That's cancer. That is disgusting. Genuinely so. But anyways, the reason we need maidens is for wave clear. To help us bridge that gap from just having the Ravagers. And when they have downtime, that's when the maidens shine, and when they have uptime, they're the main source of damage for that pack. It's kind of the idea. I could go 9 Ravagers and try to make that work, but I don't see it being particularly good just because of the DPS downtime. Like something like this, the moment it runs out of the area, they have 0 damage. It runs out, 0 damage. The one positive is they do seem to do a somewhat decent job at like spacing out their hits if they don't need to. Like you'd see a few hits here with your immolate, and typically that'd be enough to kill it. And then if you hit the next area, Gravicious. I didn't want to do that, but you forced my hand. I still want to get my next Veiled Orbing. Woohoo! Nope. First thing, let's try. We're going to replace this with Chain for clear after this. Yeah, I want this to be the case. But like the fact that they have some cremations going on here means that is a big disadvantage of having multiple of them in a single target scenario, and I do think it's gonna create issues. So maybe for the Ravagers, less is more. Maybe that's the play. Because of the way the cremation is acting, where like look at this. What was this one targeting? I think it came here just because there was no space. That's what I think. And if that's the case, then it's not a bad idea to actually lean more into the Templar War Maidens. So the Ravagers that do show up have more impact with their geysers. We'll have to keep an eye on it essentially. But I suspect this is what we're gonna have to do. Chain is really not bad for clear. The alternative to Chain is faster projectiles, but I don't think I brought faster projectiles with me. I didn't bring faster projectiles. This one. This is the alternative to Chain for clearing. Chain makes it bounce an extra time. What faster projectiles does is it goes even further per shots. And the cremation, of course, also quote unquote hits faster because, well, they hit the ground quicker. That said, for magma or faster projectiles is typically lower single target DPS. But seeing as already it's AI and they're not going to try to overlap it and all of that, I think faster projectiles is not half bad for them. Yo, the lack of reinforcements these syndicate members are giving themselves is kind of annoying. I want to kill multiple of you, not one. Let's roll a few maps. We're going to do Mausoleum now. Mausoleum has a kind of corridor-esque hallway. So it might be interesting to see how this performs there. I knew there was something. There's always something. I feel like I'm going to toss you. I don't need something that's going to force you to be magic. I'm not going to waste chisels on you. I can't run any reflect fizz anymore because I think my Ravagers actually do fizz. And they'll literally Thanos snap themselves out of existence with their auto attacks. I also don't want to do suppress spell damage. Oh god. Double charge on hits. Monsters cannot be leeched from and reflect. Yeah, let's dump this, dump this. These I will probably still end up switching between. And then these two. I see chain. I don't run chain. Okay, this is fine. Okay, so let's look at our links. We have faster approach and greater volley. Okay, let's do this. It feels like a waste doing syndicate and not having those. Tormented spirit, I don't care. There's nothing here that particularly yeah. There's nothing else. Whose idea was it to give monsters 90% block? Like, whose idea was that as a modifier? And it's not just black block spell, it's both. So regardless of what you do, you're kind of still effed by it. This is going to be very rippy. Simply because of the possessed spirits. But on the bright side, because of how spread apart their geysers are, it's kind of very steady DPS.
God's judgment awaits
God damn it. Yeah, no, single target is not there. It's non-existent.
No. Whoa. That glitters is
The single target is non-existent for them. Which is ironic because I would have sworn the Ravagers would actually have decent single targets. I'm gonna have to also think about if I can do something different on the tree to potentially help them, because like cast speed is still not gonna help them. Like they're very similar to the Wretch Defilers in that regard. I don't think cast speed is going to increase the speed the geysers pop. Projectile speed is going to, but other than like just projectile speed or the actual projectile altering effects. No, we're not doing that. Let me see. Increase AoE spell echo minion damage. Increase AoE. This is now level 14, so we're getting a sizable increase to AoE. Should I just buy an awakened increase AoE and call it a day? It could very well be exactly what they need. Because that would give them the AoE they actually require, as well as increasing their damage. So I don't remember if it's a more modifier, if it's increased. But either way, it's still more damage. I also should remember to use spell feeding frenzy specters.
Death's the only option.
It does not want to go to the...
We have come to an accord.
Do we give up on the idea of the Ravagers? Is that what we're gonna do? I don't want to. I think the Ravagers have potential. Now, granted, they don't have clear speed potential, but I think they should be able to somehow perform in single target scenarios. Now, if I just remove this and I go for the more multiplying the way of controlled destruction, how does that feel? The only way I can think of to make it so they get extra projectiles without actually getting extra projectiles would be umbilicus. Unless we go for a specter that doesn't need extra projectiles but is ranged, which is going to be quite the ask to look for. But it would need to be ranged. It would need to be a spellcaster. It would need to not need... Because my reason is this. Without GMP / volley, then the Ravagers are in a much better spot. And then they can have like faster projectiles to increase this cremation's hit rate. But with greater volley, GMP, all of that, the less modifier might be what we're feeling the most here. It might be what we're feeling the most. Let's think. I am curious, can you drop me an answer to why we have not yet seen Squire plus 12 link craft for pure specters? Okay. The easiest answer to that is socket pressure. Because whilst we now have access to Rage Spectre of Transience with Raid Lord, well, it means we now need a support Spectre setup somewhere. And the thing is, Raid Lord previously had sockets. So what would happen is you would essentially have too many sockets for a pure Spectre build, and you could put stuff in your helmet, put stuff in your boots, put stuff in your gloves, whatever. But right now, your helmet is taken up by jewels, which I like personally. But then we are faced with the exact same socket pressures as regular minion builds to a degree, where we have to go like an aura setup, a defensive setup, curse, a trigger setup, things like that. We have so many sockets or gems we have to use. So to then create your 12 link weapon, right? It's decent, but it creates this issue where you have, if you want to use generosity, you can't have your auras in your chest piece, so you'd have to do something else, like, I don't know. Like, for example, automation is, there's generosity, anger. I can't use generosity with any of my other auras, so they are on their own here. With determination, temperature, they're here. I can't have this here, so they can't all be here, so they would have to be like in separate things. But then something has to go here. Does that make sense? You lose your trigger, and then you lose your trigger, and then you lose some flexibility with how you run your gems. Now, that's not the end of the world, and personally, I can still make a Squire setup work with pure specters. So far, I just haven't felt the need to. Basically, I just haven't felt the need to. 6-link chest is fine. People are going more for gloves because of the fact that the specters that are popular, at least with the rest defilers, they don't have base crits, and it's the gloves that give you base crits on their as one of the links. So that's why people are preferring to go the gloves. You could go the Squire setup, but you would lose your trigger wand and on top of this, if you go Squire, you lose 3 levels of minions, which is the 2 from here and the 1 from here. And while you gain 2 from here, you might then have to run Empower or whatever. You would have to make up for the levels elsewhere. But if you properly make a 12-link setup, you would ideally have levels of socketed gems in there, as well as level of socketed support gems, giving you, I think it was 3 levels to your socketed gems, which is not bad. That is good, actually. So I guess that isn't really an issue in that regard, just because of the things you would want to craft. I think they can work, to be honest. I think it can easily work. Yeah. And I honestly wouldn't mind having a 12-link setup. Worst case scenario, you would just have to drop generosity and run your auras in your chest piece. I mean, generosity is very big for minions, so there's that. But beggars can't be choosers, right? I lost a minion. Yeah, we're still above 25, so I lost the minion in that map. And it's obviously one of the maidens. You are not anywhere to be found, right? Nope. Okay. Okay, so let's look. Flat damage is not being as impactful as I think. And the reason I suspect is this. If we are to go into the same map, let's go into something.
Be careful.
I could open a new map, but let's just do this. We should be able to complete it, so it should be no issue. With greater volley, we have better clear speed. Another thing that I'm not the biggest fan of personally is I think when it comes to the Templar War Maidens, I don't think their bounce goes far enough. Which is why faster proj is... Which is why I like faster proj personally. Where is it? Because with faster proj, their bounce goes further and it hits more enemies, giving you better wave clear. You know something funny? There might actually be a better support Specter than the thingy. How confident are you in crafting a sword like that? I think I can craft one. I think it's going to be very expensive to get the full X amount of links. However, if you're willing to go for a 9-link instead of a 10-link and stuff like that, it becomes much cheaper. Because it's just steps. You have to do certain amount of steps and you get there. You have to find the Shaper base, the Elder base. You have to Awakener slam them together. You have to find a specific base that has +1 to crafted modifier so you can fill up the prefixes, as well as craft prefixes cannot be changed. And then you have to reforge, I think it was speed, and hope you get something good and you don't fill up your suffixes. If you fill up your suffixes, you have to pray and annul and try to, you know, get the suffix. If you hit the prefix, you have to get rid of the base and buy a new base and start over essentially. it's more time consuming and than it is really expensive. But the last step where you get rid of your base is if you want specifically 10 link. If you're found like a 9 link or whatever, there's a good chance once you reforge speed, you're going to get at least one speed related affix. Like last league I was going for multi-strike. Can I send links in chat? No. I would have to permit you. What do you understand? I mean, I can do that real quick. Permits. Can I spell? There you go. POE Ninja. This is a Bitter Dream Squire setup. This person is probably running... What would this person be running? They are definitely called Specters. I don't want to... There isn't rate load, so I don't want to imagine it's Moon Dancers. Wretch Defilers? It can't be Wretch Defilers because they do lightning damage. There's a Spectre I'm forgetting. They could be running... What's the name? Are they using Destructive Link? They could be running Crush Claws. Do they have Destructive Link anywhere? No, they don't. They could do Frost Auto Scouts. They could do Hyries Watch. They have Grave Pack, so they attack Specters, which means it's between Auto Scouts or Hyries Watch. Either or is what they're running. It's probably more so... I feel like there's a higher chance it's Hyries Watch. They have Volley and Faster Proj. And they're going crit. If they're going crit, then it's definitely not Auto Scout, it's Hyries Watch. Because Auto Scouts do not have base crit, if I remember correctly. So this would be better off with the Hyries Watch. That's probably what they're running. Anyways, what was my train of thought again? Yeah, we have to find something that doesn't use greater volley. Oh yeah, we haven't beaten the boss. I was saying there could be a better minion, unironically. I don't know if I still have them in my Desecrate pool. Let's use an extra portal to just make sure the zone stays. Act 1. Let's do this. Let's take off Spell Echo. To climb. So you could craft a sword like Lastly Golem just designed for Wretch Defilers. I'd have to look at Wretch Defilers specifically. But yeah, I don't see why not. I don't see why not. It should be very decent. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. You will have to probably go through a number of bases, however. And that is where the annoyance of crafting it and the patience comes into play. So go Ravager. 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 And wouldn't you know? Ravager. Where is the last one? Goatman Shaman. The problem with Goatman Shaman is their AI. That's, in my opinion, one of their biggest hindrances. But in practice, they aren't half bad. An alternative to them that wouldn't have the AI issues would be a fire spell Specter that's found in this area, Alva's temple. I forget the name. Okay, I have oh jeez. I have 4 shaman. I need 1 more. Okay. We don't need faster proj anymore, so we're gonna go control destruction. The thing with this is they actually can scale crits. They probably also want GMP, but doesn't matter too much, I guess.
Look around you. This is the end of your journey, Exile. The fight. By the time we're
I will not fail the cause.
you may have claimed this. We God. You cannot win. If you think
So like the goat men are not bad, but their AI is just god awful. Because when they if you're to convocate them into a pack of enemies, their AI says to strafe left and right, like they are going to try to basically kite. So this is going to create DPS downtime versus just having something that potentially always hits. Now, like I said, the Alva, is it Risen something? The fire version also uses fireball, and that has good potential, but I haven't done any Alva this league, so I don't know. So I'm going to replace this with this. There's nothing here that I care about, so we just move in.
When I'm ready.
I think fireball might actually be it. I just need to get fireball specters. Oh, jeez.
you are at the lighthouse, we are the
I also don't remember how tanky these goatman shaman are, but I think they are decently tanky. Like here, they probably have DPS downtime because they are kiting. So you have to deal with that BS, essentially. Here too, they're probably kiting. You have to convocate them away while trying to... It's
all is lost. My mutual brothers don't regret.
okay, we skipped a lot when we jumped from where to where.
That's it. I'm done. You won forever, friend.
I think fireball might honestly be the best bet. Oh, these are mine. Let's look at single target damage, shall we? Just make sure we have support specters. Give us feeding frenzy. On the bright side, look how big the overlaps are. It's overlapping so much now. A very nice amount of overlap. I think this is actually the biggest weakness of the Ravagers. Simply the spread of their cremation. And I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Because even if we can reduce AoE and that reduces the spread, which I doubt it, because I think the spread is there because, well, simply put, the spread is there because there's just no space for the geysers to go to. You want to hear something? Another wacky idea. Imagine using Caldera Ravages on all their hits like this to proc poison. Same way we were using poison SRS seasons ago, where it's like you just use your Covenant and United in Dreams to give them a whole bunch of flats, and then the cremation does the rest with the number of hits. But again, I think it spreads way too much. I really want them to work, but I just think it spreads way too much. I'll be honest. And I can't think of how you would go about fixing it. Flat damage is obviously very helpful, because then each overlap is even more flat damage. But they are nowhere near good enough compared to like Wretch Defilers. Now, if we were to go like full Fireball Specters and just forget the idea of the Caldera Ravagers entirely, right? If we go to Alva's Temple and pick up those Risen Vow Advocates, I think that's what they're called. Maybe. Like, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Let's look at their POEDB real quick. Yo, we're just disappointments. Yo, really were disappointments. Oh yeah, is dominated on. Let me message him on Discord. Fiery Attendant. Holy shit. Okay. POEDB. Where were we? Risen Vow Advocates? Question mark? Yeah, that's the one. Fire Champion Temple Specter. How about yo, shut up, please, and thank you. Imagine going to Act 9 for quiet. It doesn't matter. Act 9 is fine. It's water sounds. Level 78. How tanky are they or squishy? They are pretty good. They're healthy. That's it. That's the first good sign. Then their fireballs are of course pretty good. Let's compare them to Goatman Shamans. Goatman Shaman. Is there a Specter? No, we just have to compare like this. 78. No way. This is not the Spectre version, so I guess their life is also on the lower side. Wow, this is the Spectre version. Is there the normal map version? Like this? I think. 78. It's still in line with what I expect, to be honest. Has slightly more health, but the damage is not much more. Either way, it's just Temple of Atuato that you find them in. Their base damage is quite high, I'll be honest. It's quite high. And to be fair, what's supporting their life is they have Molten Shell that gives them a shit ton of armor. And then their shield eats this amount of damage. That's an insane amount of damage. And they just always ignite with this, even though this doesn't matter. But their AI is just so bad. I would feel very restricted in convocations if I were using them. Do we have the YouTube? What are they called again? Risen. Well, they have a chaos version. Oh. And as you can see, there's an AoE when they hit. Wait, what was that? There's a kind of AoE around them when they hit. Oh, a sky projectile. Wait, what? It has alternate minions. These kind of look cool. Chaos version of Fireball with low base damage and 6% crits. Fireball has AoE available when there are multiple targets are wall. They also use Meteor spell when not on full life with base face damage converted and 30% face converted to Chaos. These are summoned by specters, yeah. Interesting. So it's just Chaos Fireball. Is it Risen Val Zealots? These aren't Zealots, are they? They are advocates. So what is a Zealot? These use a thrust attack, so they are melee. And they attack. Okay, that's obviously the first. No. The reason Val advocates. My goodness, what are they called? Why did that not go through? I must have misspelled something. So this is what they look like regularly. I'm just not realizing they carry a melee weapon. But they basically use fireball. Their fireballs look cool. And they don't have the AI issues, quote unquote, that the Goatman Shaman have. And their base damage looks like this. Where are you? I'll be honest, you were a disappointment. The Templar War Maidens too. I thought they would have done way better at clear. Way better, because look at their base damage. Yeah, granted, each auto attack, like each volley of the magma orb, it doesn't shotgun the same enemy or anything, right? But I give them enough attack cast speed, in my opinion, unless, because in terms of cast speed, I was scaling cast speed for Wretch Defilers, so they should have cast speed. They have the cast speed cluster. They have the second class, the spiritual command cluster that has cast speed, and all the cast speed nodes there. They don't have cast speed on my cluster. That's somewhere I should get more cast speed on. But then they have really good base damage. So what gives? You know, part of what it is, part of it is also just the bad scaling of fire, because fire as a whole, especially with minions, just doesn't scale as good. Mostly because, like, look at anger. It gives flat added fire damage, and that's not bad, giving flat damage. But the problem with giving flat damage is that we look at Wrath, for example. I don't know if I still have Wrath in here. I don't. But it gives more spell damage. Look at Hatred, it gives more. It's a more multi. This one just gives flat. So I think ideally, if we really want the Ravagers to work, we're going to have to pick minions that do not need GMP/volley. I think this is something we're gonna have to do. Ooh. Can I think of any? Fire base, obviously. Probably not. So this might be one of those places where it's like, I think we just give up on the idea of the Ravagers as a whole. The fact that they need a combo is their biggest flaw. This could be a decent Specter. And same thing for the War Maidens, to be honest. They could be decent if we go specifically for them. And what I mean by that is, I'm gonna cancel this. What I mean by that, oh Lord, my video is here. Anyways, what I mean by that is, instead of going like things that are specifically good for the Ravager, like increased AoE, I would go minion damage, GMP, chain, control destruction, stuff like that. How much is a Woke Ink AoE going for right now? Let me check real quick. Where? Oh shit, never mind. God damn. That ain't cheap. What if we just replace AoE altogether, because we're getting so much from our tree and everything? So what if we just replace that with Immolate? We have this. as well as control destruction. It's worth a shot. This is where POB would have been really amazing. But alas, we do not have such a luxury. I swear you can't stay in your hideout with this goat, man. You just can't. Alright, what Skirabs was I using? Mostly June, so 1, 2, 3, and then there was Nico. Where is sulfides? There you go. Anything weird? This number seems oddly specific. Are they ranged? Which ones? The Risen Architects? Oh, not Architects. The Advocates? Yes, they are. Orb of Regret, I'll take it. I definitely feel stronger, to be honest. Maybe Ink AoE is just not the play until you have a awakened version of it. Despite the increase to overlap. It's possible, I guess. Back with Spectral Leader, eh? I mean, to be fair, yeah, they'd be decent with Spectral Leader.
Leave it. It moves to be close yet.
I feel a lag somewhere. Not bad.
I'm no traitor.
Honestly, not bad. You know, if I was seriously farming, I could have easily done like 3 different like actually in this span of 2 hours I could have done like almost 6 Katarinas, like 5. So I could have made a bunch of currency if I wanted to, but I don't care about currency right now, if I'm being honest. I'm at the stage of the game where I make currency as I need it, and if I don't actively need it, I don't care too much. Honestly, I feel like this is a much better setup. Having the because I'm still not using Feeding Frenzy here because I keep forgetting. I don't like the memes though. Oh, they're draining my flasks. Oh god. I guess this is a flaskless. I need all the regrets I can get. Straight 20%, you can't argue with that. I mean, when your 20% is dying every other map, I'd say you can. You definitely can. Honestly, this doesn't feel half bad anymore. Once we got rid of AoE, that might have been the thing that was holding them back the most. having that support gem link that wasn't benefiting them. So I guess we just try to get their AoE up as, like, obviously without the help of increased AoE. I think that might be the play. That makes me wonder. That makes me actually want to try. It kind of makes me want to try the maidens again and give them another shot because of that simple fact. But I do think these goat men are. I think they have a lot of damage.
I'm a man of limited talents. Only so much you can do with a hook.
Morgue's almost full. I'm probably going to end up cremating all the corpses in there. Because I know I've just been filling my morgue up with unique. So I'm going to just burn through everything and not... Maybe I'll try to get the energy shield Perandus packed and see if I can fit it anywhere. I doubt I can, but if I can, then by all means, I'll go for it. Instilling orbs, which one has a pack leader? You do. Chromatics, I don't care too much. This is fine. It's always good having an extra more multiplier in your specters in the form of this. So if increased AoE is out until the awakened version, right? We can technically argue going for like LMP or some. Oh wait, look. Are y'all seeing this? They're not spread out anymore. At least not as spread out anyways. This Tora has been trying to go everywhere but where I want to put her in. Like there's only one. Well, thank you. I'll be sure to wish him that in like once I'm done with my stream. Ashlyn, Rin most of this. I don't care. Wait, Rin came back? I could have sworn I removed Rin in this same board. I think I did. One thing I'm gonna tell you about this, these minions. I am not going to be trying Katarina with them. I do not think their single target is as good as I would have expected. And honestly, I have half a mind to remove Immolates. And I'll explain why. The reason I think removing Immolates might actually be the play.
Was that really Exile? You're taking all of this far too personal.
The reason I think removing Immolates might be the play is we have a lot of added damage, including from anger. So does it really make sense to go for Immolates when we have stuff like elemental focus, we can put in that slot to give us even more damage. I would wager no. It doesn't. It actually doesn't make sense. Uh-oh. Get your asses here. Thank you. Let's get our support specters in place. All right, let's swap out immolate for... Let's swap out immolate for early focus. Because I have way too much flat damage at this point. I can't justify it. Which means all the chance to ignite we added, all useless. But I guess it's the price we pay for not having POB. Where does this point go? This is already done. Let's give my minions leech, shall we? I think leech is fine. Here is full. This already has it. There. I could go for here, but I'll just give them leech. I think they need leech. Orb of regret, thank you very much. I think it's actually starting to feel pretty decent, I'll be honest. I think they are starting to feel decent. Not to mention our gems are actually being leveled up as we speak. So each time they level up, they are actually closer to what they should look like damage wise. This isn't bad. It almost makes me feel like I can just run Goldman Shaman, to be honest, and I'd have success. Maybe 2 Calderas for the single targets. I mean, what do you guys think? I think in terms of just DPS, like just straight up DPS, they are looking better with these new support gems we have. Accompanied by a map boss. I don't care. We'll see what map bosses you pick, I guess. Yo, the Goatman shit. Their molten shell, very annoying sound. Incredibly annoying. Are we gonna attack or not? Because yo were just doing your kiting. Speaking of which, I know I shouldn't do this because it's probably not worth it. I'm gonna be picking up a lot of orbs here. Oh, so that's the boss. The irony that I'm using fire to fight fire. That said, my fire is feeling like it's not that good. Oh wait. Never mind. My fire is actually whooping butts. I didn't even realize it, but before I knew, we had killed everybody. Ooh. Cool. Rin,
This wasn't personal.
Ashlyn,
What? No.
it that fled. I don't want. Oh, this is Vagan. Is what that is telling me. Oh, where's my worth is whatever you say is worth. I mean, I'm not gonna say I wasted money or anything in terms of the getting ignite chance, right? But I think they feel decent. Oh god, we have to fight this sword, the one from last league. We're just gonna stand in here. Oh great, one more boss. I'm sorry, what? Did they just corpse explode me? I feel like they did. Whoever said accompanied by a map boss was not a big deal, well, I knew it was me that said it. But still, kind of is. They're annoying. But I do think I like them being accompanied by the map boss because it just helps me have extra damage sponges to kind of feel what their damage feels like, or to get a better idea. Wait, what? Did I just see I saw a meteor. That's what killed me. Interesting. That's good to know. There was a meteor. So I'll be careful when I kill some packs. Is it TLDR? It is important for me to have it that fled at 3 stars by the time this is done. But that said, I kind of want to get my safe house done, so I'm just going to interrogate you. I'm sorry, you chose the losing side.
This'll chill you to the bone. Even better with a weapon than with words. You won.
Raka moves to this, sure.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited for the next round.
Okay. We are going to give... This is gonna be so painful, but we're going to give those war maidens another chance. Let's hope I don't regret it. It's always so much effort doing this. Like always. 1, 2, where's spell echo? 3. This time I'm actually going to, you know, have a brain when I pick this, and as such I will pick the ones I want to replace first, and my Ravagers would be last. So here we want the Templar thingies, War Maidens. Yo, had me spooked for a second. I'm like, yo, I'm sure I have you guys. Is there a universe I just try no Ravagers? Or maybe just one Ravager? Is there a universe that happens? Maybe. We could try it. After all, the Ravagers are not gonna be here next league. Yo, why are y'all so rare? I don't get it.
I need more mana.
That's 5 of them. Should we go ahead and just try all of them? I mean, only thing we lose is sometimes summoning the Ravagers later on. But we could try it. Focus on them for once and see what their single target looks like. Probably not going to be the best, I'll be honest. And the whole idea of using them came because I would have vanguards to fall back on for single targets when the AI throws magma orbs on ideally. Yo, where on earth? Okay. Now, if I'm going to specify, like if I'm going specifically for them, then naturally this would include Spell Echo, GMP. Awaken minion damage is fine. Early focus is fine. Though I'd replace it with control destruction for this one area. And then I go faster approach. And then I'd swap faster approach for early focus, single target. So let's try it. Oh, I'm happy I don't have enough mana to cast this. Otherwise, I would have probably replaced my minions a whole lot more than I'm comfortable with. Oh my goodness. All you see is the fact that you don't see. Like, that's genuinely all you see. It's just a whole bunch of bright lights. I doubt their single target is going to hold up. Which is obviously where the Ravagers shine. Where is early focus? Am I lagging? What was that?
Hang your head on my belt, as Khan did Lion Eyes. Tell him I want Have you forsaken me?
I guess yeah, single target isn't even bad. It's actually not bad. It's not optimal, but I think honestly it beats having Ravagers just because of the inconsistency in their damage. We'll try one map with them. Oh god, we need to reroll. How did I go through all those maps so quick? I can live with this. Yo, I feel lag. My character feels slow. Look at this. That's why my character feels slow. It's the spikes. I'm getting so much glare right now I can barely see. So this is what they look like when they have early focus on. Which again is not inherently bad. It's not at all. Additional Val or lesser Eldritch, sure. Now let's replace this with faster prod and let's see if wave clear improves. I think wave clear should improve. Yeah, 100% it did. What? Horn Scarab of the Bloodlines. 90C, not bad. How is it their single target like this? Not the best, I'll say that much. So yeah, I think having some Ravagers in here makes the most sense, in my opinion at least. Let's try this with chain. Tell me I still have... Bruh. I was gonna say tell me I still have chain. And then... Boom. Screw you. Chain allows them to bounce an extra time. I think chain by itself is creating this lag I am seeing. Also, my minions are dying, which is obviously part of the reason we have even lower DPS. All right, let's add our Ravagers and let's see how they perform, just to be fair. Ravagers, anyone? I'll be honest, I think our best bets for a Fire Specter build might honestly be, unironically, the Goatman Shaman. I might have to try out the 4 Ravagers. Here, let's do this. I might have to try out, what do you call it? What felt the best? Chain feels like it's lagging my PC, or lagging the map at least. Fast approach feels like I'm shooting myself in the foot with all the projectiles. GV cuts the damage too much. I think we just go control destruction or LE focus, I guess. Where on earth is LE focus? Okay, that's the one. Okay. Ravagers are in. I'll tell you this, the Ravagers do pack a punch. Like the way they just died once I brought in the Ravagers. Now if only they could spam cremation or not have a maximum amount of cremations, that would be lovely. But that's not the case. Alas. Bruh, who's that? Let's turn these off as we don't want to have shrines affecting the damage as we see it. I think I probably made these creatures way too rippy. What do you call them? Because my army is dead. I probably made them too rippy. What did I give them? Max evasion, max fire res, shit ton of fire res, max chaos res, phase damage as extra fire, phase damage as extra chaos. The map has chance to avoid poison. It has phase damage as extra chaos. It has withered, so they're withering us, and they have a lot of phase damage as extra chaos. And then they drop burning ground, which my minions are not immune to. And let's just say I am my minions' worst nightmare. That's all I can say with that in mind. I am their worst nightmare. They don't like me at all. Whew. We did a lot of testing, and for final conclusions, I would say the Ravagers have potential, and increased AoE is not the way to go until you can get awakened AoE. I don't know if we're ever going to get them competing with like Wretch Defilers, at least for clear, but for single targets, if we can somehow manage to get their cremations in like a concentrated area, that might be, I guess, worth it. That might be how we do it. It's just right now I don't see that as being possible, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna keep playing around with some different fire specters. I'm probably going to look at getting the Risen Vow advocates, maybe going that. But there's a very good likelihood that if we do go a 9 Spectre fire build, it's going to be a Fireball Spectre. Like the Goatman, which the Goatman, they have so much base damage. Like, it's so wild. I have to assume that that is not the Spectre version or whatever. Like, I just have to assume that. But like, it's so much damage. Especially when you put it side by side with the what is that name again? When you put them side by side with, why is my brain not working? The advocates. When you put the Goatmen with the advocates, you see the difference in like just pure base damage. And I'm guessing the numbers we're looking at again are not the Spectre's numbers, but it's still impressive. So we're going to test it. I'm going to probably test this either Monday or off stream. I'm going to play around with the advocates. I'm going to have to get an Alva Temple to get them. And we'll see how it goes. I also think their Firestorm is pretty interesting, even though it has a 6-second cooldown. Well, anyways, I'm digressing. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate the each and every moment. I actually enjoyed the tests. I think we got to see some new Specters. I'll say that much. We got to see them. We got to use them. They felt decent. Some felt meh. Some felt good. Some just feel awkward to try to make work. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes in the end. Worst case scenario, I will give an update during stream on Monday or in my Discord channel. I'll probably post updates on like how the fire specters end up feeling. If you guys miss it there, you can always check it out on the channel. I don't know where else I could put it. Anyways, for now, good night. Or I guess have a good rest of your day because this is afternoon or evening.